Salam.
Salam.
We're back for our weekly live stream. How long this is going to last, only God knows.
I mean, it benefits all of us, right? Like, we
Who is
learn
that?
from,
All of us, the six or seven? I don't know how many.
well, whatever it. We do learn so many things when people ask questions, and it opens more meanings. And I mean, there is a lot of information just from these episodes. Like, I mean, I can't even sometimes when I go back and listen to our podcast that we've just finished, and I was like, wow, I didn't even get like I don't know, most no, I shouldn't say most, but a lot of what you said, right? Like
Yeah. So
and
again, let's just put up the link and make sure it is streaming as well. And it is. Here we go. So again, anyone who wants to join the discussion or bring their arguments about the Quran from the Quran, they're welcome. I have, I mean, I've said to mankind, all of them, for the last 15 years, come and argue with me what's written in this Quran, if you can. And nobody bites the bait. Yeah, nobody takes the bait. I wonder why that is, because they have no clue. The answer is they have no clue about what this Quran is saying. They don't know the fundamentals of the Quran. And how they're going to argue with someone who actually knows. They never argue with someone who knows. Yeah, they will argue with those who have no idea, who make up nonsense, over the words of God, and they glorify the nonsense written by men, the power of now and the power of then and the power of one, and the string theory and the multi-universe, all this nonsense. They make money off of it because they make you buy it and buy into it like bloody morons that most people are. And the books of God, they denigrate. They go, oh, these are ancient writings. They didn't know what they were talking about back then. We know what is happening. They didn't. Well, if you know what's happening and you know this book is all nonsense, then why don't you come and discuss what this book says and see how you fare at the end of that? Of course, that will never happen.
yeah, I mean, most of us, we thought that what we were taught while we were growing up, and I'm not saying that it wasn't my fault. The Quran's translations were there. I didn't understand Arabic, but the translations were there. I could have picked it up and read it, but I trusted what I was being told by, people around me and my family. And oh my God, now we realize that there was just no information from the Quran, everything from there, I don't know from where.
From the
And
rear ends, I would say.
like denigrating book of God, like it's there and putting their thoughts over it, and it's really sad. But
So I
anyway,
trusted them as well. I trusted my parents. I trusted the clergy, who are the most satanic uh, pieces of garbage who walk the earth. The clergy today, all
yeah.
of them, not any one particular. Every single clergy on the earth, from the Buddhists to the Hindus to the Sikhs to the so-called Muslims to the Christians to the Jews and all others, including the Church of Satan, they have that as well. They're all wretched, wicked, evil. At least the Church of Satan says they're evil, right? The others pretend they're not. Anyway, so today I think we're going to read chapter 62, right? That's what we discussed
Yes,
last,
we're going to read chapter 62, the togetherness, and you are going to clarify it to us.
hopefully.
Yeah,
All
inshallah.
right. So let's start with this. All right. So the title of the chapter is the togetherness. That's the translation. In Arabic, the word is al Jumu'ah. People say this is the Friday prayer. Yeah, we'll read the chapter and figure out what it actually means. I mean, it means the togetherness. It doesn't mean the Friday prayers, by the way. It is, and they call the day Juma, right? They
Yes.
don't call this name that's written in the Quran. It's Jumu'ah. It's not Juma. But that's not neither here nor there. They can do what they want. But the actual word is Suratul Jumu'ah, which means chapter the togetherness. And I put 62 because that's the number of the chapter. So let's start this chapter with name of the God, the Almighty, the Merciful. It glorifies to God what in the heavens and what in the earth, the King, the Holy, the Mighty, the Wise. So basically, everything glorifies to God, whether they hate Him or they love Him, whether they accept Him or they reject Him. He, the one who brought out in the illiterates a messenger from them. He reads over them His signs, and He purifies them, and He teaches them the book and the wisdom. And if they were from before to be in a strain is clear. So let's look at this. This is a loaded, and there's many different versions of this sentence in the Quran, at least three that I know of, maybe more, but at least three places this is written. So here the Holy Spirit is speaking to us here, obviously. Gabriel, the only Spirit, the Holy Spirit, the only Holy Spirit of God, the most powerful messenger of God in all of creation. So he's the one telling us that he, the one, so God is the one who brought out in the illiterates a messenger from them. So the word illiterate means somebody who is unaware, yeah, who cannot read, write, or cannot understand things. So here, most people say that Muhammad was the illiterate messenger, and he was, no doubt. So was I before I became literate. In what? In the book and wisdom. This book and wisdom. Muhammad was not amongst the Jews and the Christians who called themselves the literates, and they were also illiterates, by the way. They just kept the book. In the sense that they had the book, they were literate. Muhammad was illiterate in the book till God chose him and sent his spirit to inspire all the inspiration, which was not the Quran at the beginning, which was all the inspiration was given to him to do what he had to do and tell the Christians and Jews what they needed to do without the Quran there until the end, when Muhammad and all his followers overcame all the Christians and the Jews who were against them and took over Jerusalem as well as Makkah, those two holy sites of the believers, not the Muslims, the believers. So that is what illiterate means here. He was an illiterate because he didn't know the book and wisdom till God sent. The others had the book and wisdom and they were still illiterate, by the way. They were not literate, the Jews and the Christians. They were literate in nonsense that they invented, just like what they've invented here after the Quran. So what does he do, this messenger? He reads over them his signs. So now God is the one who chose the messenger. Like me, I'm the same. There's no difference. I was illiterate as well, but I'm not Muhammad. Muhammad was the illiterate messenger prophet. I was just illiterate and he made me a messenger. That's all. He reads over them his signs. So we read over you his signs. He, me, and every other messenger. We are exactly the same. Noah did the same thing. Abraham did the same thing. Lot did the same thing. Shoaib did the same thing. Hud, Saleh, Jacob, Joseph, all of them. What do? They read over them his signs. And he purifies them. So God purifies them because we read the signs and you accept it and you submit to all of us. And then he purifies you. But unless you do that, he ain't going to purify. Just because I read over you his signs doesn't not purify you until you submit, until you accept, until you turn from your nonsense. That's the only way you're going to be purified. Not other than that, you can go run around and think just because I've read the signs over you or you've read the signs over yourself that you'll be purified. Yeah, keep dreaming. And he teaches them the book and the wisdom. So I am the one who's sent to teach all of you the book and the wisdom with the will of God. You don't learn it. You don't understand it. You don't follow it. So what does it help you? No, I'm the only one helped. And those who stand with me, just like every other messenger before me or any other prophet, does not matter. Nothing has changed, especially after Moses. None of the message has changed. There's been some minor adjustments here or there, like point your direction to Kaaba instead of, or the mosque, the sanctified instead of Jerusalem. I mean, but that doesn't change the message. And others from them when they join with them, and he the mighty, the wise. So first those who will believe and others will join. Yeah, there's not going to be many. There might not be any. That grace of the God, he brings it when he wishes. And the God with the grace, the great. So you don't decide who he brings his grace to. You don't decide who's the messenger. Okay? You decide to follow the messenger and accept that he's the messenger or the prophet. You don't have any say in it. God chooses us. You can choose to follow us. You can't choose us to be messengers or not to be messengers. We are the messengers. You can choose to follow us or reject us. We don't give a damn. We will give a damn if you follow us, and we'll damn you when you reject us. That's the only difference. Example of those who carried the Torah. Now the Spirit is talking about those who carried the Torah, which were those after Moses. Then not they carried her. Like example of the donkey. It carries, travels. Bad example of the people, those who falsify with signs of the God, and the God, not he guides the people, the wrongdoing. So what is this example exactly of? So if you look at it, those who carried the Torah, then not they carried her. So first they carried the Torah and then not they carried her. Like example of the donkey, it carries travel. So what is this example of a donkey? So the donkey, when you load on the donkey any weight or anything, the donkey doesn't know what the hell it is. It just runs around wherever you point it. That's the example of these people who hold the Torah. And don't think that these so-called Muslims are any different. They've been told to stand the Torah, and they don't carry her like they didn't carry her. And they don't carry the Quran like they were taught to carry the Quran. So their example is exactly the same as those who carried the Torah. They are the same so-called Hud in the Quran, the Hadu, which are the Jews, Yahud. The so-called Muslims are all so-called Jews today. The Jews themselves are Jews. They've invented over the Torah, the Talmud, and all the other nonsense they've created, and they've pushed the Torah aside and they hide it. The Muslims have done the same. They've added nonsense upon nonsense. All the Shia and the Sunni, the biggest two morons who call themselves Muslims, they've done the same with the Quran. They've added nonsense outside the Quran. The Shia have made their own nonsense. The so-called Sunni have made their own nonsense. And both of them have done exactly what those that carry the Torah did before them. They are like donkeys. They don't know what they're carrying because they never, ever strive to read and understand what the book is actually saying. And they blame the Jews. They blame the Jews as the one who are wronging. See, God is telling them, no, he's telling you what you're going to be later. At this time when the Quran came, they were following Muhammad. Not all of them, obviously. Most of the believers are idiots as well. But those who were following Muhammad were not this. Just like when Moses was there, most of them following Moses were believers, were Muslims and believers. Believers who were Muslims, obviously. And then they became Jews. They became hardened against the message of God. So after Muhammad left, till the next messenger came, and now that I've come after that, I don't know how many messengers have come and gone between me and Muhammad. I know Muhammad was the last one with this book has sealed in it. Every other messenger comes with this book or prophet. So they have done exactly the same. The messenger comes, he explains the book, some people follow him, God destroys the rest, and then slowly after time passes, they turn back to the same nonsense. So the so-called Muslims today who are Shia and Sunni are exactly the same as those who carried the Torah. They are all Jews. So on the earth, there are not just 15 odd million Jews. There are 1.715 billion Jews. Yeah, 1.7 billion so-called Muslims. So there are actually Jews, and this 15 million poor little Jews, yeah, who apparently rule the whole world for some reason that they say, yeah, right. So after this explanation, which people just blame the Jews, no, you understand that the people who hold the Quran today are all Jews. They are bigger Jews than the Jews themselves. So the Spirit commands me, or the messenger, or Muhammad, or any other prophet messenger. He commands me to say, O you, those who Jews, if you fancy surely you protectors to God from other than the mankind, but you be desiring the death if you be truthful. So when you tell them this, the answer is, oh, God decides when to kill me. Are you ready to die? God will decide when to kill me. Yeah. So this is the statement to all of you who hold the Quran or the Torah, or most of the others is the same, but especially those who hold the Torah and the Quran, because now that Quran is no longer what you follow, just like the Torah is no longer what the Jews follow. So what am I supposed to say? All of you. So when I say, oh, you, those who Jews, today, it means the Jews and the so-called Muslims, not just the Jews. At the time of Muhammad, there were no people who were turned against the Quran openly, obviously. If you did that, they'd be lambasted, destroyed. At that time when Muhammad was put in charge, there was no mercy after that. You either get out or you follow. That's what happened to the Jews and the Christians when they were exiled from the Holy Land after the Quran came down in 600 and whatever 27 AD. So this, O you, those who Jews, is for all the so-called Muslims and the Jews. If you fancy surely you protectors to God from other than the mankind, but you be desiring the death if you be truthful, okay? Desire the death, all of you. Which of you are going to desire the death? Oh, sure. And then the Spirit adds, don't worry. And not will they desire it ever, with what send forth their hands, and the God knowledgeable with the wrongdoer. So they will never desire death because they intrinsically know they're all going to hell. They will never broach that subject, but they know they're going to hell. These Jews and the so-called Muslims who are Jews, they're not Muslims. So then when they, I mean, of course, I don't have to ask you, your answer will never going to be you desire death. Then I'm commanded to say, surely the death which you run from it, but surely it will meet you. Then you will be turned to knower of the unseen and the witnessed, but he will inform you with what you're doing. So understand what is being said here, yeah? People talk about the messenger as being, oh, all so merciful. He doesn't say a word to harm us, right? I mean, he's never uttered anything that's against us. He just comes and says, love, love, people love. It's all love. Sure. Sure it is. The love is between the believers, which God creates. Even the believers fight with each other. Only the mercy of God makes them love each other. There's nothing else that can make you close in your hearts except God. And even the rejectors, they fight with each other except what God wishes, that they love each other, and they are loving each other. If you look at the rejectors, because they've created all kind of technology and progress that will make us live forever here. We're going to another earth somewhere. So then the Spirit says now, so this is about the day of prayer. Yeah. O you, those who believe, when called to the prayer from day of the togetherness. So to the prayer from Yawmul Jum'ah, Jumu'ati. Yeah. That's what it's saying here. When called to the prayer from day of the togetherness. But strive to remembrance of the God and leave the trade. That to you, better to you, if you are knowing. So now let's now analyze this prayer day that they all fight about, right? The Jews, they say it's Saturday, the Sabbath day. The Christians, they say it's Sunday. And the Muslims, they're one-upping them. That's there before the two. Yeah, they're Friday. They call it Friday. Now I'll step back and ask someone who knows this Quran, and most of you have no clue. Where does the Quran say there are weeks to follow? Or there is a cycle of 7 days? If you can find that for me, then we can talk about a day called Jummah or Jumu'ah. Yeah. Let's see. I'll wait here till I die and you die, and you will not find it. So now, If you say it's every 7 days, where did God tell you? This day of the togetherness. There is no such thing. Okay? You determine how many days of togetherness you want every month or every 2 months or every whatever. It has to be no particular day at all. It is the day you come together to pray, right? Now, also, if you look in this sign, what does he say, the Spirit, to all of us, those who believe? Strive to remembrance of the God, not to the mosques. There's nothing here about striving to the mosque. So if you cannot get to the mosque or the church, synagogue, whatever you want to call it, wherever is the prayer hall or the house of God where you come together to pray, you strive to remembering God and leave the trade. So leave your nonsense during the day and remember God. That's the whole idea here. So when you go to these mosques today, for example, and church and synagogues are similar, what do? They talk about nonsense. They utter garbage. They repeat the same nonsense every week. The calls to prayer, the 3 calls before you have to be there, before 5 minutes, before 10 minutes. Oh, shut up. If you don't come up to the Friday prayer to the mosque in 3-4 weeks, you will no longer be a Muslim. Oh, shut up. A bunch of nonsense mongers, absolute liars. Poppycock is what they utter from their mouths all the time. Okay? It is the day of the together. So togetherness means you come together to pray, right? It doesn't mean you have to go to the mosque to pray. If the mosque is too far away where you live, right? You just come together, the 15 or 20 or 50 there are, and pray together. What do you do to pray? Remember God. How do you remember God? Read the Quran. Not the nonsense that they utter, not the so-called prayer that they pray, the absolute, complete, total garbage they have invented as prayer and their yoga exercises, right? Literally. It's the Muslim yoga exercises as opposed to the Buddhist yoga exercises. I mean, shut up, man. God has never told you to do any of that shit. Literally. I mean, if you can show me where he tells you to make that prayer in this Quran, bring it to me. If you can show me where he has told you to, the call of prayer is what you say, bring it to me. You will never be able to, so you go to hell. You can go to hell if you tell me God told you to do that, or the messenger, or Muhammad, or I. No, none of us are going to tell you that shit. You're just going to follow your thoughts because, like every other generation, you follow what followed your fathers. And in the hell you will live with them. And we will curse you there. And we will curse you here. So there is no such thing as a 7-day week. In the Quran, there are days, there are months, and there are years. That is it. There's nothing else. And years can be followed in 2 different manners. Either the solar cycle or 12 lunar cycles that makes a year. You can follow either. And we follow both of them, by the way. And we screw around with both of them as well. So, but when finish the prayer, but spread in the earth and seek from grace of the God. So now when the prayer is finished, go do your nonsense and seek grace from God, wealth, power, sustenance, whatever the hell you want to seek. And remember the God much. Maybe you prosper. So now keep remembering God. It's not like you come, these prayers that the Quran specifies for believers 3 times a day, morning, middle of the day, the balance, and the evening, is so that you stop and remember God. We, the true believers, we never stop remembering God. So we're always in prayer. We are always front and center with God. That's why we prosper, and the rest of you look at us and say, how are you like that? Yeah, okay. And when they see trade or frivolity, so the Spirit adds, these are the believers, by the way, we're talking about those who believe. They go to them both and they leave you standing, meaning the messenger. So these are the believers, yeah. And then the messenger is supposed to say, he's commanded to say, what with the God better from the frivolity and from the trade, and the God better of the sustainers. So that's how we ended. You go run around and you're trading, your Wall Street, your commodities exchanges, your Bitcoins, your goddamn movies, your music, your drama, your all that nonsense, your geopolitics, your politics, your all nonsense. Yeah, go to that. I'm going to be with God. You guys keep doing that nonsense. So I think that should explain that with
Yeah,
absolute clarity.
no, yes, it does explain it very clearly. And I actually do want to say something about this because they have made the Friday prayers such a big deal. And I will just read to you. I know it's cringe for you and us, but I will still tell you that what they say, okay? They say Friday is Yom al-Jumu'ah, a day of congregation. Muslim men are expected to meet and participate at the designated place of meeting and prostration. Women and children can also participate but do not fall under the same obligation.
Hmm.
And also, they consider Friday as a superior and holy day. And also, one scholar says the Quran invokes the importance of Friday as a sacred day of worship in chapter 62, he says. So to say, he says Muslims believe Friday was chosen by God as a dedicated day of worship. Also, they also do this thing called the khutbah or the sermon. And what about that? And they say they talk about any topic relevant to the community, spirituality, social
Bollocks.
just causes, and others.
Bollocks.
So
You want me? I mean, how much stuff? I mean, how many things I have to unravel here? There is no super sacred weekly day to pray. This is a bunch of nonsense. Okay, there is no holy month of Ramadan either. That's bunch of nonsense. Okay, the month of Ramadan is haram. It's forbidden. One of the haram months. They say no, it's the sanctified. Yeah, it's the sanctified month. It's the forbidden month. Yeah, it's not the holy month as they say it. It's sanctified. Why is it sanctified? Because
before,
the Quran came down in it, and 4 months have been sanctified by God in
yeah,
that one month, not every month of Ramadan that passes. Then they say, how do we find which is the month of Ramadan in a year? Well, if you need to find a month and you don't know time, then you start with the first month, and that's Ramadan. And then 3 months after that are forbidden months, the haram months. Yeah, haram has it's sanctified, which you can translate into holy, but the main meaning is forbidden. The month is forbidden, right? So when the month is forbidden, you are supposed to not do certain things in it, right? Just like forbidden are your mothers, i.e., you can't marry them. There's a different forbidden there than you can't go marry the Kaaba or the mosque or the month. Yeah, I mean, people don't understand the simplicity of language. They will conflagrate it or conflate it into some nonsense that will destroy the actual meaning. There is no such thing as a sanctified month and only the men are supposed to go there. What are the women? What riffraff?
yeah, no, exactly. I read that, and they say that it is personally obligatory for the men to go, and obviously, I know what about the women believers anyway.
Exactly.
And they also say that they attribute this to the prophet, and I read it and I was like, wow, Prophet Muhammad, that I did not
Yeah.
specify. And they say that he said that, I don't know, to bathe, to put oil and all that thing, and go, and one who goes to the mosque walking, not in any vehicle, and he listens to the prayer and the khutbah. I'm not sure exactly
Yeah.
what. And so his all his crimes or whatever that he, I don't know, for 1 year or something, his worship for 1 year and forgiveness for 1 year and something else for 1 year, or
Nonsense. It
some
is
nonsense.
all nonsense. This is
Yeah,
akin to what
yeah,
they say about Hajj. That you do
exactly.
the Hajj and you are as if you're born, all clean, completely forbidden. You pray one prayer at the mosque, the sanctified, and it's like 100,000 prayers. And if you pray one prayer at the Batul, they call it Batul Muqaddas, it's actually Batul Atiq in Jerusalem,
Yeah,
it's 125,000 prayers. Oh, shut up. You
yeah,
people have no clue what you're talking about. What
yeah.
you're saying and uttering will come to bite you very soon, as some of the signs are already around us. It will completely overcome these morons. The curse is upon them. God's curse, and all us messengers are cursing all of mankind today. Literally, all of mankind. By I mean literally, meaning not literally.
Yeah,
Most of them are under the curse of
obviously.
God today, and it will come to bite them sooner or later. I'm not the keeper of the day that is going to come. I'm here to warn you that that day is coming, and I've been warning for 17, 18 odd years now, and everything has just deteriorated in those 18 years. It's objective. No one can come and tell, no, things have gotten better. No, things have not gotten better, moron. Things have gotten worse
Yeah.
by a long shot, by a huge margin. Yeah. So
And going back to chapter 62, the sign that you, I think it's the second sign where you read about that he sends in the illiterates a messenger. It's like I read that sign and I go, that's me. That,
yeah, I was an illiterate until God taught me this book.
Yeah.
What I was taught was illiteracy about this book, right? So
Yeah.
were you. We
Yes.
thought we knew. We knew nothing.
Yeah.
We knew lies. We believed gibberish and nonsense, and we followed absolute, I would say, superstitions more than anything else. That's all we followed, yeah. And complete garbage about how to pray to God, when to pray to God, and we're the only ones who know how to. No, the Christian and Jewish prayer will not be accepted. Only the Muslim prayer. This is the prayer that Muhammad was taught, and in it he's swearing to himself, witnessing himself.
Yeah.
I swear that Muhammad is the messenger. Really? So why does he have to swear to himself that he's the messenger? I don't have to swear to anyone. Anybody is a messenger of God. Okay. I just have to believe God and believe with the messengers. So this is total nonsense. These people have invented so much garbage, and it will come to bite them like it has every other generation before them. There is no escape from that. It will be an absolute, complete devastation that will come upon them. Nothing is going to save them from what is about to come. Nothing. And it cannot be stopped anymore, as I see it.
Yeah. No.
And it can never be stopped. God has said every generation is going to be destroyed. So it's not like this generation will not be destroyed. It will be destroyed. The only issue is that generation for them is not generation for God.
Yeah.
This generation is after the last messenger came and went, is this generation. When that happened, I don't know. I can't tell you.
Yeah.
I mean, I have no knowledge because nobody has knowledge of the last messenger. The last messenger we have knowledge of is Muhammad. After that, we don't have any knowledge of any other messengers which have come and gone. And they have, just like I have come. I will go, just like Muhammad came and he went. He's dead. He ain't amongst us. He cannot listen to us, not unless God makes him listen to what he wants. He's not listening. God is listening. The angels are listening. And the Spirit is listening to all the believers, all of us. And God is listening to everyone all the time. And it's not the thing that you say from your mouth. He's listening to your heart. That is the truth. Your mouth utters lies most of the time, absolute lies. Your heart says the truth, and from your mind, you blot it out. With the intellect that you have been endowed with, and you have used to blot out your heart. Yeah. Use your head. Don't use your heart. I remember being told.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, so you want me to go to hell? Yes, just with us, like us, all of us. We're all going to hell. Use your head. This intellect, and the smarter you are, the better you are, obviously.
Yeah.
The better intellect that you have, the smarter. 180 IQ, 500 IQ. Oh, he's like a monkey. He's got a 60 IQ, whatever. I don't know. Or 20 IQ, whatever the hell it is. Bull. God doesn't give a damn about how smart or dumb you are. He gives a damn about how much you believe and how much you reject that he has said to believe.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is all nonsense.
Also, no, and because we're talking about prayer, I did want to bring one more thing up, and it's also about the washing before praying, and also not being intoxicated when praying if you don't know what you're saying.
I mean, prayer, basically, God says, do not come to pray or talk to God with sincerity. Yeah, the remembrance of God and prayer till you know what you're saying, right? And especially in this case of intoxication. So do not come to prayer when you're intoxicated till you know what you say, right? Till you understand what you're saying. That's fundamentally it. You can drink and still pray, As long as you know, you are clear. But how do you know when you're not clear? So you have to be understanding about your own limits
Limitation.
of what you can take of intoxication before you lose your senses, which happens to all of us after a certain number of drinks or certain amount of any drug that we take. I mean, we have to understand that. And if you're even the slightest idea that you're not clear, you don't talk to God. That's it. Because if you say nonsense in there and he accepts that, well, then all hell is going to break loose upon you. As it is, we ask all sorts of nonsense from God. And when he brings it to us, we say, no, I don't want this. Well, you asked for it. Now you deal with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
So
that's it for that.
yeah, and the washing part,
Oh, yeah. So,
yeah,
I mean, washing is written. It's simple. You wash your hands to your elbows, you wash your face, and you pass with your feet to the ankles and your hair. Pass it. You don't have to wash your feet. You don't have to wash your head. Just wet your hands and pass it over your feet till the ankle and your head like this. That's it. Wet hand. They wash their hair, they put it in your ear, they up your nose, and then they got to 3 times up to here. And if you don't do it, then the prayer will not be accepted. Bullshit. Your prayer will be accepted whether you do the so-called ablution, yeah, or you don't do it. Prayer will still be accepted. God is going to tell you, why didn't you cleanse? Because to clean you, because we're dirty beings, yeah. We get dirty. That's how God has created us, yeah. We get dirty with dust and grime and everything else we deal with every day. So God has told us to
clean ourselves.
clean ourselves. It's so that we clean ourselves. It doesn't making problems over us.
Yep.
And when they say, oh, you can't pray when you have periods, bullshit. You can't fast when you have periods, bullshit.
Yep.
You can do both. You can pray when you have periods. The women, of course, the men don't have them.
Yeah.
The women can pray when they have periods and they can fast. It is complete nonsense what they have uttered. Jews have done the same. That's why I tell you, the so-called Muslims have gone further than the Jews in the strictness they have put upon themselves, the so-called Sabbath, yeah? Sabbath
Yeah.
is strictness. Both these religions are like akin, they're brothers to each other, yeah? The Jews and the so-called Muslims who have destroyed the book of God. The so-called Muslims are worse. That's the only difference.
Yeah, they have
The
the book.
Muslims are way worse than the Jews in almost every manner, yeah? They're worse than the Jews because they're not Muslims, actually. They say they're Muslims and they're not. They don't understand what a Muslim is. None of them will be able to explain to you what is a Muslim. It'll be all garbage, invented stories, hogwash, literally, and poppycock coming out of their rears that they tell you what a Muslim is. They have no understanding. They cannot fathom what a Muslim is. They cannot understand it. And thus they will lie in hell forever after they die, just like their parents and their ancestors and everyone else except us and those who follow us, all the way to Adam, if you want to see it. Adam down to me and every messenger between me and Adam and every messenger between me and the end. And Jesus, who will come before the end. He will bring the same message. He ain't going to bring, oh, no, the Torah and the Injil or the Bible, they were wrong. The Quran is right. No,
Yeah.
they were the same as the Quran. And I'm going to reiterate to you. And the pointing is to the Mosque the Sanctified. Put your faces there, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolute garbage, yeah? Anyway, so I have one sign that I want to clarify that was asked. One sign. So this in Romans, this is sign number 7 in Romans. So promise of the God, not he defers the God his promise, and but surely most of the mankind not they know. So now this sign says they know apparentness from the life of the world, and they over the hereafter they oblivious. So they who are they? The ones who reject God. These are the ones who only know the apparentness from the life of the world. And they over the hereafter, they're oblivious. So these people on the earth, do they care about the hereafter, what they're doing? No. They're glorifying the beauty of the life of the world. the knowledge they achieve, the wealth they gather, the fame they acquire, right? The
Yes.
books they write, the subjects they have learned, the subjects they have invented. That's what they're doing all over the earth today. That is the apparentness of the life of the world. The buildings they build, the militaries they've put up, yeah, the nations they form, the organizations they establish, and then they destroy you with them. They make you strive to be like them. And that's all apparent is of the life of the world, the beauty of the life of the world. That's what they want you to follow. The Satans. And they know is that apparentness. And they can't even figure that out properly, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
What they can see. What they see is what they try and figure out, and they make beauty out of that. And the unseen, they're totally oblivious because they cannot see it, they cannot prove it, they cannot get there. So what do? They just disregard it. And those of us who come and tell all of you that, hey, this life is bullshit. This life is frivolity and bullshit. That's what it is. Garbage, hoax, delusion. Don't waste your time trying to establish your empires here. They will not last. They will not stand. Look at these morons who are the Americans, the so called American empire. They're trying to struggle to keep it alive when it's obvious it's going to die. Yeah. And there's not been any empire that has survived the test of time till today. So, how is this American empire going to be any different? It will not. The next empire that comes, if there is one to come, it will end up in the same way. They come with good desires at the beginning, yeah, with honor, justice, truth, to make good on the earth, yeah, to be the moral compass of the earth. These people, they're very good intentions at the beginning, but when they see power, wealth, and their desires, it turns them against anything that is truthful, and then it ends up as it is now. That's what the appearance of the life of the world does to all, including the believers,
Mhm.
when they turn away from the book of God, which they have done today. All of them, the ones who hold the Torah, the ones who hold the so-called Bible, the Quran, and all the other Buddhists and Hindus and Sikhs and all, they've done the same. So they are oblivious about the hereafter, which is the real life. And this life is a fake life. The real reality is in the hereafter, after death. And the fake reality is the life you live. And you try and figure out how fake it is or not. It doesn't matter. It is going to be as fake as you want it to be. And it's as real as you want it to be by your own thoughts.
Yeah.
I mean, we are deluded, right? I see the fakeness. I didn't see it before. If I turn back from God, I will see that the book is fake and the world is all that there is. So then you have nihilism, right? It's useless, it's pointless. Just have as much fun as you want. Steal, murder, rape, pillage. Oh, that's what the Americans do. And they say everybody else is doing that. They blame, they don't look in the mirror that they are the monster they project on other people being. They are that monster. They have been that monster. They will be that monster until God destroys them completely. There will be no escape from destruction for these people. People try and say, "Oh, we'll make it. It'll be a drawdown, and then we'll rise up again." Yeah, sure, but the drawdown will be a complete destruction. What happens? Like the Soviet Union got destroyed, right? Now it's like half of the land they had, probably, and that still is double of the next country, right?
Yeah.
The Russian Federation.
Yeah.
And they've come back up after 25, 30 years, 35 or whatever it is, yeah, 25, 30 years, yeah. They've risen back up. So what? Now they're not going to die again? I mean, it's all nonsense.
Yeah.
I mean, the empires rise and empires die. That has been the cycle throughout of mankind's history. And I don't need to look at their history books. I look at the Quran. It tells me all of that. And then some. And the way it happens. And all the signs of how and when it's going to happen. And all those signs I see clearly. It's happening in front of our eyes. The destruction of this society is upon it. It doesn't know. It thinks it's going to get through somehow by making deals with each other. the Trumpian deals. Make a deal. You got to make a deal, otherwise we're coming after you. Okay, come after us. You know, it's like the people of Shoaib who told Shoaib, "Come join our nation, or we will exile you, or we'll take you out from our earth, or whatever it was." Yeah, right. How about doing that? Yeah. See what happens to you when you do that to the believers. I've seen the examples of that. The only thing is, most of them are not believers. They're all imbeciles, liars, falsifiers, and making up nonsense about what God is all about. And they themselves portray themselves to be gods. I mean, if you look at the situation between USA and Iran, they want Iran to submit to their um,
Whatever that.
whatever they want. They want them to give up their weapons. They want them to give up supporting the enemies of America, and they want them to give up all their nuclear program. Fundamentally, that's what they want. So fundamentally, they want them to basically stand naked in front of them so they can shred them into pieces. But if you look at the way of God, it's the same. He wants you to submit to him as well, his way, or he's going to destroy you in the end. That's what they're telling Iran, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. But the reason for God doing it is not to shred you, but to forgive you and give you the garden. Why the reason they're doing it, the US, is so that they can have hegemony over you. God doesn't need to have hegemony over you. He already has it. You think you have any control, you're screwed up in the head beyond your imagination. You have no control. God has complete control. He doesn't need to take control from you. He has given the control to you. So he's going to take it back. Whereas the morons on the earth, they want control over you. They need control over you to rule the earth. How these nuances have to be understood with a bit of wisdom, and there is none. There is no wisdom out there.
Yeah. And
So
and talking about powerful, like people of Hud, I think that's, if you can remind that they said,
they are the odd people.
yeah,
They
yeah,
were the ones who said that we are the strongest. There is no more stronger force ever on the earth. Who more stronger than us? Force. And the answer is, did not they see the God who created them? He's stronger force from them.
yeah.
No, they did not see it. So that's how it ends. In the end, it ends like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I did have a question. Can you explain signs 194 and 195 of chapter 7, and who it is referring to when it mentions about the servants of God they call?
Surely those you call from other than the God, servants, your example. So call them, but let them answer to you if you be truthful. So who are these servants that they're calling? The next sign says, are to them feet, they walking with them, or to them hands, they grasping with them, or to them eyes, they seeing with them, or to them ears, they listening with them. Say, the messenger is commanded to say, call your partners, then plan me, but not will you be looking. So, and then my statement, absolutely, surely my protector, the God, the one who sends down the book, and he turns the righteous towards himself, by the way. So here, who are these servants? Who do they call to, by the way? They call to Jesus, they call to Muhammad, they call to Noah, they call to Hud, they call to Jacob, they call to all of them, right?
Yeah.
They call to Ali, who is not even a messenger. Yeah, Hussein, Hassan, all these people, they call to them, correct?
That's correct.
They are servants of God, all of them. You know, I'm talking about these, and then they call to all the other who are dead, their parents, their fathers. Yeah, that's what they call, right?
Yeah.
So do you see them feet walking around? No. Hands grab? No. Eyes seeing? No. They're dead. They're not here. And you're calling to them. Call your partner. So call Muhammad, see what happens to you. And I'm calling God. Who's going to win that one? Call Jesus and I'll call God. Let's see who's going to win that one. So call your partners, then plan me. But not will you be looking. You'll be destroyed. First of all, those partners, if they heard you, they would reject you. We're talking about those who are dead, including the rejectors, because they know the truth now. They're in hell. These others, the prophets and the messengers, they're not in hell, no matter how much you want them to be in hell, because they tell you the truth you don't want to hear, just like me. We're not going to hell. You people are going to hell for rejecting us. That's what's going to happen in the end. No matter what you think, doesn't matter what you or I think. The truth is the truth, and I'm telling you the truth. Oh, but that's what you think. Yeah, keep thinking that. So anyway, so these are the servants that are being spoken about here, the ones that are dead, because they're not walking around. They don't have hands, eyes, ears. You can't see them, can you?
No.
So who? They are all these that they make up stories about. Muhammad, Jesus, Joseph, Zachariah, Mary, Yahya, John the Baptist, that they call them, the Christians, Jacob, Joseph, Ishmael, Isaac, Abraham, Lot. They make stories about all of them, right? Of course, they don't call Lot, they don't call Abraham. Yeah, the so-called Muslims are calling Muhammad, and the others are calling Ali or Hassan and Hussein, the Shia, and the Christians are calling Jesus to come and help them. Yeah, he's not coming. If he were here, he might be able to help you, but he ain't. When he comes here, sure, ask him for help, just like you can ask me for help. But what can I do to help you? Not much. Jesus might be able to do much more than me. He can bring you back from death. He can cleanse your evils, your diseases and everything. I can't. Muhammad can't. So yeah, there is a certain amount of help that we can do to each other in the earth. The messengers, the prophets, and all the rest of us. But when you are dead, you can't call on us to help you. You can call on God, and you can ask him to send his angels to help you, or the believers to help you, or anyone else. I mean, God can help you with the Satans on the earth as well. I mean, he sustains us via the Satans as well on the earth. We're in the satanic system. I'm in the satanic system. No two things about it. So who's running the satanic system with the will of God? The Satans. So who's sustaining me? You can say the Satans are with their nonsense. They work day and night to make themselves glorious on the earth, to be the protectors of mankind. Like, the prime objective or the responsibility of the president of the United States is to protect you. Well, he's God, that he's going to protect you all. Are you out of your minds? They're going to protect you. They're protecting themselves from you. Okay? That's what's happening today and has been forever. I ask God to protect me from the rest of you, all of you who are out there. I don't care whether it be the good or the evil. If they're against me, I ask God to protect me from it all. And he chooses to protect, and he chooses to try. It's not our choice. We have to accept what comes to us. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're done. Oh, you have any other question?
No, we're done.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Okay.
we'll come back again. Today the peanut gallery was just 2 or 3 people. Yeah. Whatever. We'll continue till I said we will. Then we will decide. Okay.
Yes.
Next
Okay.
week, if wishes the Lord, on Saturday, 1 p.m.